man. Why must I chase the cat?
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. If you were paying any kind of attention last week, you'll know that there was Posse first. There was no live show. We had our first rerun, and that was one of the more fun, well, they're all fun, but like Laurel Cox and Mark Sheehan, they're awesome. Laurel is a major dog angel. She had Addie with her, and that was a great time with the three of us and Addie squished on the couch. It was great. But from what I hear, Laurel is at it again, adopting yet another dog who really needs someone like Laurel. And more to come about that. But from what all we know right now is she's a blind girl who they thought could be pregnant, but it appears that she's not. She's got a mass in her stomach, and she's diabetic, and she's a hot mess. But to see the pictures of Laurel with this dog already, just you could feel the love, and it's awesome. So hopefully, once this new baby gets settled in and Laurel has the time, maybe we can have her come on and tell us all about her new adventures. And really, the woman is a dog angel. She really is. But last week, the reason why I wasn't here, it was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. It was a big one. And we had a great night Friday night. My birthday was actually Saturday, but Friday night we went out and celebrated and had a great night. There were wonderful people who came out to help me celebrate, and I thank all of you. We did a little something for blankets and bowls, and got to see Lisa Robin, and that's always wonderful. And my friend Celeste, who I hope is watching tonight, it was her birthday too, so we had made our little pact last year that we would celebrate our birthdays together, and we did. So happy birthday, Celeste. Girlfriend, I had a great time, and we'll have to do it more often because, you know, we went out once before after our birthday last year, and I don't know, I think we should do it more often. That's just my spin on things. But anyway, Saturday night for my birthday, I was fortunate enough, which is why I wasn't here, to go see Cesar Millan. And that, I have to tell you, was an unbelievable experience. I never realized what a controversy it can stir when you bring him up. You know, everybody's got lovers and haters, and apparently he's got his haters as well. People who don't agree with his methods, so to speak, and how he handles dogs and his approach. And I really never would have suspected, but I guess it's only natural. You know, there's vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream, and people have, you know, their preferences. So, you know, there are people who are Cesar fans and people who aren't. And I can tell you that I really never had an opinion. I'm not a scholar of the man. I don't follow him really. I don't know, I just had like this, partially my journalistic interest. I did try to put in my bid to interview him, and unfortunately never got anywhere with that, which that would have been cool. But, you know, with my column and all, I thought it would be completely relevant. You know, I did enter a contest to try to win the meet and greet, and that wasn't in the stars. So I was like, all right, you know, whatever, I guess not. But then there was the message that came from someone who I actually never met in person but knew on Facebook. Here I go with Facebook again. Michelle Vasso, who runs the Patrick Movement for Connecticut page on Facebook, who said, hey, you know, I knew earlier in the day she won tickets through one of the news stations to see Cesar. And she was like, hey, it's your birthday, you're coming with me, and that's the end of that. So, and that was just, you know, that was a once in a lifetime. That was like truly the meant to be and how it was meant to be. And she ended up having, you know, a second extra ticket, so my friend ended up coming too. And so I got to tell you, Cesar puts on, not only was it great to meet her, because she's a doll. She's this tall, beautiful drink of water, but, and she's as beautiful inside as she is outside. But I got to meet her, and Cesar puts on just a really, really good show. You know, it's not, you wonder, again, not being a student of the master and all that, you wonder what to expect. I had no idea. But he is like borderline slapstick comedy in the way that he presents the different scenarios that we create with our pets, and in making fun of the things that we do. You know, it's the scenarios are all like painfully true, but by making fun of it, he makes us see just how ridiculous we are and how we create many of our own problems in the way we approach our animals. So, you know, really from him laying on the couch, you know, licking himself and pretending to be the cat being introduced to the new dog, to the whole thing of, you know, taking the dog out and, you know, building up the excitement for it to go pee, and him jumping around the stage lifting his leg like he's the dog out there. I mean, it's just hilarious. How can you not laugh? I think one of the best lines was when he said after the dog poops, you bring it right inside to the cookie jar, because if you don't give it a cookie, it might forget to poop tomorrow. And, you know, really, it's so true. But it really was, it was great. And he advocates for rescue animals, and, you know, he advocates for pit bulls. And his dog Junior was on stage with him the whole time. And I will tell you, the Junior actually upstaged him a couple of times. It was pretty funny to see, you know, Cesar Millan like, hello, I'm over here, you're laughing at the dog, but here I am. And again, because he advocates for rescues, there was, in the lobby, there were people, rescue groups set up so that, you know, people coming in and out could meet with these people, and, you know, they could gain supporters. And he picked Angel Capone, or somebody in his organization picked Angel Capone Pit Bull Rescue to bring their dogs on stage in the second half of the show. And he worked with, you know, what they presented as their problem dogs. And it was really cool to see just the fact that, you know, these dogs were having whatever issues that, you know, the rescue presented them as having. And he just, you know, they weren't, he took control. They were not at all presenting these things for him. Although at the end, there was the third dog, Curtis, who had a little bit of, you know, I don't want to say food aggression, but, you know, he was like very food, he was like, feed me. He was like that big plant in Little Shop of Horrors, you know, like, feed me. And he tested Cesar a little bit, but it was all funny because it was. So anyway, as I blither on about that, I have to say thank you again to Michelle Vasso for making that possible for me. It was a fabulous night. It was a fabulous experience. It's always wonderful to get to actually meet the people that you've, you know, been online with for the longest time. And I have to say a special thanks to my friend Debbie, who really, really, really went many extra miles and made my birthday very special. So thank you to everybody who came out to celebrate with me. Thank you to Michelle, and thank you to Debbie. And I had a fabulous, very significant birthday. Rolling right along, there are still 2 birthday dogs who are in need of adoption. And everybody else is home. The one dog who is not in a shelter, Junior, I can't really seem to see anything as far as an update for him, but I'm going to show you again Peepa and Desiree. Zach, if you want to bring those 2 young ladies up. There is Peepa, and she is, you know, a young throwaway mama, and there is Desiree, who, oh, Zach, you're killing me. You're either going too fast or too slow. There is Desiree, who, you know, is starting to stress out a little bit in the kennel. but they are both still at the Bridgeport Animal Shelter and very much in need of homes. You can see that Desiree is just a beautiful brindle girl, and Peepa is a beautiful black and white girl. They're both young. Desiree is very, very active. Peepa is, just a little sweetie. They're both sweeties. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody talks so glowingly about them, but they're in need. And I'm just gonna bring up a point that traditionally the most difficult dogs to get adopted are black dogs and brindle dogs. And Cesar actually touched on that last week as well. And so there you have it. Both Peepa and Desiree, unfortunately, fall into that most difficult category. So please, it's not too late to make my birthday wish for these dogs who are urgent to come true. And the number for the Bridgeport Animal Shelter is 203-576-7727. That's 203-576-7727. And just roll through those one more time, Zach, and then I'll take the camera back. Just please keep in mind, people, that it's not just Bridgeport that's full and has urgent dogs. They're everywhere. Shelters throughout the state are full. I sing this song in the summertime. People are on vacation. They don't want to be bothered with adopting. Waiting could cost these dogs their lives. Please, if you're even considering it, or if you have room to foster, hook up with a rescue and do it under the umbrella of a rescue. It's probably the smartest way to do it, because then you have guidance and you have backup. But, don't delay, save a life. It could be far too late by the time you get around to it when you're ready. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about my whole birthday experience. I think that covers all of it. Zach, can you bring up the first picture? I think we both know which one I'm talking about, I hope. The I Wouldn't Leave You, yep. Now, there have been several reports of dogs being left in cars in the state, and they die, people. They die. Just this week, there was a 14-month-old Yorkie who was left in a hot car for an hour while this person went to work, and the dog died. This is one of several, like I said, in the area. You can't even do it for a minute. You're not going to be a minute. By the time you leave the car and get inside, it's already a minute. Don't let your warped sense of time cost a dog its life. The fact that they're making the news is great, but the fact that they have to even make the news is just all wrong. Don't even think of it. Leave your dog home, put the air conditioner on. Dogs are so different than people. They cannot sweat the way we sweat. They have to pant. When you leave a dog in a car, they fry. Their organs shut down. They stress out. Their system just fails. They suffer, and they die. I don't want to hear, we put the windows down a little bit, we parked in the shade, oh, I left the sunroof open. I don't want to hear that. Okay, you've got these people who think they're smarter than the average bear, and they leave the car running with the air conditioner on, and that is a whole nother ball of wax where, go ahead, get your car stolen, you idiot, and then your dog's in it too, and what happens to your dog? I can't express to you enough that it's not safe. Zach, pull up the next picture for me with the temperatures. Excuse me. It's 70 degrees is too hot to leave a dog in the car. It's beautiful outside. Sure, it's great. You want to go for a walk. It's a beautiful thing. But look at how the temperature rises inside the car. If it's 75 out, it's going to be 118 in the car. If it's like it's been this last week or so, 90 and 94 degrees, you're talking almost 150 degrees in a hot car. A person couldn't handle it. I know I've talked about this before, and maybe you feel like I've talked about it, to death, but if it wasn't for the fact that these people are killing their dogs, I wouldn't have to talk about it at all. It's just, I don't understand why people don't get it. I mean, I read stories of people that I know who are coming into contact with dogs in cars like on a daily basis. It's not safe. Leave them home, walk them in this kind of weather, walk them early in the morning, walk them like this time of day when the sun isn't like pounding and beating and punishing everything under it. Be mindful of their feet when you're walking them. If the pavement is too hot for your feet, it is surely too hot for their feet. They're going to suffer burns on their feet just like you are. Somebody told me just the other day they saw a guy walking his dog down the street, and the dog kept trying to walk on the grass, and the guy was like trying to get him off the people's grass. But do you think the dog's feet weren't burning? The dog knew better. It's too bad that the people don't. And just remember, if you do get involved with a situation where a dog's been left in a car and it's in distress, the dog needs to cool down gradually. If you can get it to drink water, fine. Let it drink water, but don't let it drink a lot all at once. It needs, like I said, it needs to cool gradually so that, the body doesn't go into shock. You can't just take a dog that's suffering heat stroke and like immerse it in ice cold water. Your intentions are good there, but you're going to put the dog's system into shock. The best thing to do is to immerse it or run like lukewarm, room temperature, tepid water on the dog, mostly around the belly where you can cool off the organs. Obviously if the dog is non-responsive, that's, until you can get help for it, you don't want to drown it by, running water over its face and all, but, you do have to cool that dog and try to stabilize it gradually until you can get it to the vet, because I'm going to guarantee you the dog's going to need fluids and a whole lot of monitoring and medical treatment. It's no joke when your organs start to fail. It's an ugly thing, and, you don't want to do it. I was involved years ago when I was with the shelter that I was with a dog that had been left outside, and I don't remember where from the recesses of my memory I remembered what to do, but it was critical at the time. I know I've told that story before too, so I'm not gonna necessarily kill everybody with the same old things over and over, but if you remember what to do, it's definitely very helpful. And it would be a lot more helpful if people wouldn't make it so that we would have to remember these things. So just take a good look at what is really going on inside the car. Those temperatures are no joke, and I can tell you that humans would not be able to survive that. Never mind a dog who does not have the capacity to sweat the way we do. Now, in the same vein, there's a new law, and Zach, you can pull up that next picture, the poster, courtesy of Connecticut Votes for Animals. In Connecticut, when there is a weather advisory, dogs cannot be tied outside for more than 15 minutes at a time. So if you've got friends, neighbors, acquaintances, idiots that you know of that tie their that tie their dogs outside like endlessly, and this does only apply to tying them out, unfortunately. If there are severe thunderstorm watches, excessive heat warnings, wind chill warnings, winter storm watches, or tornado watches, they cannot be left outside for basically what they consider a potty break for 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes. This is actually a beautiful thing. It's definitely a step in the right direction. The little addition to this is that the law also provides that when the weather is detrimental to the dog's breed, age, or physical condition, the same rule applies, where it should not be outside for more than 15 minutes at a time. And that is known as Public Act 13-189. I will take the camera back now, Zach. If you see violations, you urge to call your local animal control. And, unfortunately, truth of the matter is some animal control officers and branches are better than others. And if you get no response to your complaint by calling animal control, you can call the local police, call the main number. Please leave 911 for 911, even for emergencies. Even though, yes, it is an emergency, you're probably going to get a better response, again, by not clogging up the lines that people generally put for emergencies. And again, always, I've said it before, clearly, concisely, calmly state why you're calling. Don't be in hysterics. Don't be screaming. They're going to listen to you a whole lot better if you present yourself like the intelligent being that you're trying to be by making the phone call. Now, as a last resort, if you get nowhere with the police, you can call the state animal control, and that number is 860-713-2506. Once again, that's 860-713-2506. These are all very serious things, leaving dogs in hot cars, chaining them outside in inclement weather. I don't understand why people think it's okay. I never will. And, it's dangerous for the animals. I mean, I just don't get it. So please, please, please don't begin to think that you can get away with doing that, because you're going to cause yourself, first of all, you're going to kill your animal. Second of all, you're going to cause yourself a whole lot of grief, because these people are getting arrested for these things. And again, that's another positive step. To be charged with animal cruelty, the laws really need to be made stiffer, but people are working on things like that, and hopefully someday we'll live in a world where even if people don't care, they're going to worry about the ramifications. If you see an animal left in a hot car, definitely call the police, call the local animal control, get involved, do something. Don't just think to yourself, oh, those people are surely going to be right out, the dog is fine. The dog's going to be in distress in no time at all. So be smart. Do what you can. Think of the animals. Too many people don't, and that's where we run into trouble. Anyway, we're kind of sort of on the downslide here of time. Tomorrow is going to be a pretty cool day. The Pet Playhouse 4th Annual Car Show is tomorrow, and some of my friends will be in attendance. Wolf Central will be there. If you remember, Ruth Stanley was here on the show. Lisa Robin from Blankets and Bowls will be there. Marina from Best Friends for Life Rescue will be there, and she's actually she's the Best Friends for Life is the rescue that Buster and Bentley went through. And if you remember Buster and Bentley, they were my little fosters a little ways back before Bella entered the picture on the same day that Buster and Bentley went home. But that's again, here we go, just kill me now, but whatever. I do like my little Bella. Anyway, so yeah, speaking of Buster and Bentley, their mom reported this week or the other day, that they went to the groomers. So little fearful flying monkeys went to the groomers and actually did really well with the man who greeted them when they got there, and they were well behaved and they were good boys. So, kudos to their family, who is, are really making a difference in their world. But I will be there tomorrow, and I will actually have my first official Pound Posse Presents table set up. Don't ask me why, but I am. So come on over, say hello. John's over here like, why? Come on over, say hello. If you ever thought about you wanted to be on the show, come talk to me. It's all good. I look forward to it. And I just want to give a shout out to someone who's not feeling too well tonight. You know, when I'm in front of the camera, I say my crew, but as soon as the lights go down, they are more than my crew. They are my friends, each and every one of them. And Nancy, who is usually here when she's feeling better and working in the booth with Zach, is under the weather. And I just want to wish her a speedy recovery. Everything's going to be okay. Hang in there. You know, it's really awful when someone that you know well and care about isn't feeling well. So whatever mode you use, prayer, good vibes, whatever, if you can send them out to Nancy, that would be much appreciated. You know, John, always right here for me. Zach, that's his mom in the booth there, is a boy genius, as I call him. I know he kind of like hates when I do that, but he is. Hi, Zach. He's like giving me the silent treatment. He doesn't want to know nothing. But anyway, best wishes to Nancy. And hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow at Pet Playhouse. And that should be, like I said, a really great day. Where are we at time-wise, Zach? All right, well, we can do this. There are probably a lot of other events that are going on. If you would like me to give yours a shout out on a Saturday night, you can certainly email me at pawprints713@aol.com. And you know, that's also a great way to contact me if you're interested in coming on the show. You know, my show is open to everybody. If you've got a foster animal you want to promote, if your dog has an interesting story of how you found your dog, come on, we've done that too. But anyway, okay, I've babbled enough. I've killed enough time. There are my credits. We're ending just a hair early this evening, but I'm going to say peace, love, and dogs.